Sure thing, Roger. Yes, the men would prefer that you cease drilling at this very moment. It's time to remove the rods. Shall we tidy up the document? Place everything in a bag and take a look at what we find. Put an end to it all. In the most recent episode of Oak Island, Rick and Marty Lagina became filthy rich. Close to the well-known money pit, they uncovered some incredible artifacts. Yes, I am aware that this is utterly uninteresting. It is a true journey through time, that much is true. I'm pretty amazed with it. With every discovery that Scott Barlow flaunted and Alex Lagina praised, we are left with more questions than answers. When tunnels begin to collapse, revealing potentially hazardous objects beneath, their hunt takes a terrifying turn. Who else could be hiding in this newly discovered treasure? Come explore with us next week to discover what else could be hidden deep below. Yet another hint. This time around, the story adds a week of further exploration. Someone who watches the show often could find this phrase boring. It portends the arrival of a major event, but that breakthrough remains elusive as it always does. With Scott Barr pondering the absence of structural findings in a recently discovered subterranean location, one can't help but wonder if anything noteworthy is down there. After all, the plot quickly encounters a concrete obstacle, notwithstanding the beginning thrill. A section of the tunnel they were investigating gives way. Intriguingly, this setback is also discouraging, because it makes people wonder and guarantees that they will come back for more answers. Some may see Marty Lagina's meticulous inspection of every nail and board as paranoid, while others may see it as thorough. The plan of the crew is to keep digging in the hopes of finding more tunnel sections. Carbon dating as a means of determining their age is technically sound, but it comes across as an attempt to prolong the presentation rather than expedite the discovery process. The importance of Lennon and Doug Craw's most recent find, considering how little they've actually revealed about the island's past. These repeated affirmations about the importance of gathering all possible data start to feel empty. However, Doug and Lure date the boot to 1908, and the 2009 changes in significance align with Doug's awakening to the possibility that we're digging in the shaft that Ross. Rick Lagina shares this sentiment, and further historical dimension is added with the arrival of Doug Simmons, who mentions links between the Vikings and the Knights Templar on Oak Island. His intriguing hypothesis about the possibility of centuries-old cooperation between the two communities on the island brings an almost cinematic sense of equality to the presentation. The finding of a copper coin and a fragment of an old ship railing may have important historical implications, but this is more conjectural than proven. Alluding to the late 15th and early 17th centuries, these artifacts successfully heighten the story's fascination. Nevertheless, their archaeological significance appears to take a back seat to their potential to provide compelling television narratives. Investigating ancient nails and timbers thought to date back to the 1600s is undeniably an intriguing pursuit for any archaeologist, but as the seasons pass, the search for treasure appears to become more of a drawn-out charade. Nevertheless, the show's presentation of these discoveries frequently makes one question if the objective is to unearth historical facts or merely to keep a popular TV show airing. Every piece of evidence, whether it pertains to the Vikings of the Templars or ancient underground structures, is meticulously selected to keep the storyline tight and keep viewers tuning in, always hoping that the next episode will unveil every thread in the intricate web of Oak Island. On the verge of a significant discovery, thanks to an important clue. Despite the glacial pace of actual advancement, the story remains captivating due to the continual allusions to past civilizations and important historical events. In each episode, the crew finds just enough to fuel the plot, keeping viewers guessing, conjecture, and keep the audience engaged, but never nearly enough to bring the story to a close. Let's explore fresh ideas and enigmas regarding the Viking legacies that Oak Island left behind in the New World. A few people may scratch their heads in response to Doug Simmons' very audacious proposal. His argument is that approximately 1000 AD, the legendary Vikings began establishing permanent settlements in North America rather than merely roaming the continent. Evidence from Aloe Meadows in Newfoundland, which he sees as crucial in proving that these northern soldiers had permanent territory in the area, is the basis for his claim. A mysterious thread that Simmons threads together links these Vikings to the famed crusaders known as the Knights Templar, who had a profound fascination with sacred artifacts. It was in Jerusalem, at the beginning of the 12th century, when the Templars supposedly established their organization. Simmons suggests that a partnership between the Templars and the Vikings is not out of the question. He goes so far as to imply that King Sigurd of Norway, who reigned from 1177 to 1180, may have helped transport valuables to Oak Island with the help of the Vikings. Unfortunately, 6 individuals have already lost their lives while searching for the riches, and all of the oaks on the island have already died. This whole thing is based more on a fascinating idea than on any real evidence. Simmons uses a number of archaeological artifacts discovered on Oak Island, including Nolan's Cross, multiple large stone structures, and a well on Lot 26, that date back to the 13th century to support his claims. He also makes use of the recent discovery of 2 lead artifacts that originated in Scandinavia to bolster his theory, suggesting that the Vikings may have brought these artifacts over from Scandinavia. As they continue their excavation, the crew is finding what they think are further signs of a Viking presence in the Middle Ages. In addition to artifacts from ships dating back to the 15th and 18th centuries, they uncovered a railing from an 8th century ship, which they attribute to Norse exploration of Oak Island during that time. There is a lot of buzz about each finding, with 1,000 being considered a huge breakthrough. Despite the fact that these findings may be seen by some as overly simplistic or speculative, the team's attention shifts to a rectangular foundation discovered on Lot 5. Excavations conducted there by Cranky Mermaid and Rick Marty uncovered earthenware and pipe stems from the 18th century. An older origin, indicated by a copper coin with a green patina discovered in a lower layer, may imply a distinct period for the site's use. The intriguing nature of this coin begs the question: who built the foundation and why? More than it provides satisfactory answers. Lena and Helen Sheldon are 2 of the archaeologists who are investigating the so-called money pit in a different portion of the island. They uncover a wall on Lot 5 that could provide information about its previous function. They summon the blacksmith Carmen Legg and the archaeologist Emma to investigate 2 metal artifacts discovered in a tunnel under the garden hole. These artifacts may have been around since the late 1400s or the middle of the 700s, further evoking curiosity about the site's troubled history. Carbon dating results given to the group indicate the site tale could have been further complicated if the tunnel under the garden shaft had been dug 150 years prior to the discovery of the money pit. At the same time, they find a wooden structure as they keep digging close to the marsh's southern edge. All of this begs the question of whether this building was ever intended to conceal something important. A potential direction for further investigation has been identified, in my opinion. The next step is to establish a connection between Oak Island and Portugal. In addition, the group looks into the island's wooden structure and its possible connection to an old stone path. This feature has a lengthy history of activity, according to DeRay and Spooner. They suspect it could be a 500-year-old platform used for loading and unloading products, connected to the surrounding stone road. Each artifact that is discovered adds another layer to the story, suggesting that there may be Templar treasures hidden on distant seas. Every new revelation at Oak Island adds another thread to the web of mystery surrounding the island's rumored ancient alliances, buried riches, and other mysteries. One might pause to think about how historical facts are blended with the appealing storyline of television drama, even though the thrill of treasure hunting provides for great storytelling. All the while they're trying to figure out what's going on with Oak Island, the allure of finding buried riches tends to steer the story toward connections that aren't always as black and white as they seem. In the same year, Rick and Gary discovered 2 red gemstone brutes on Lot 21. According to the legends, the island may have formerly housed a substantial treasure trove, and these monsters lend credence to those claims. The group is eager to find out where these jewels came from, so they intend to get the jewelry tested. And if there's any connection between them, this will be our sole foray into the money hole. We should, therefore, savor it. Seismic scanning was also done in the money pit area in the hopes of discovering further subsurface treasures. An intriguing retired psychology professor named Doug Simmons spoke to the group as the day drew to a close. Simmons is enthralled by the island's past. The link between the Crusades Knights Templar and the Vikings who came to North America in the 11th century was proposed by Ditter Simmons. He speculated that the Templars may have enlisted the aid of the Vikings in concealing valuables on Oak Island. Dar Simmons connected the Viking explorers with potential Knights Templar, and Rick Marty and the others listened intently. This was one of the topics covered, along with the fascinating prospect that the Vikings had an impact on the Templars and Oak Island. Dar Simmons discussed King Siegfried's travels to Jerusalem and his encounters with the First Templars. In the War Chamber, he conjectured that the presence of Vikings in the Holy Land may have influenced the Templars' deeds and, consequently, the narrative of Oak Island.